Hello, hello. Welcome to our 40th episode of our Ellie.Talks podcast, your insight in the world of sustainable fashion and textiles. So today we're diving into the world of digitalization in textile sorting and e-commerce. And for that, our guest is Achille Mathot. You're the founder of Trosort, a startup company revolutionizing textile sorting through AI-powered tagging and automation. Sounds very interesting. Welcome, Achille, today.
Thank you very much for having me today.
You're welcome. Before we start, we always like to get a little bit more personal with our guests to start it off. Can you maybe share with our listeners and viewers what personally drives you in life?
I guess it's being happy. But what makes me...
Great answer. I love that.
What makes me happy, I would say family, friends. And I like to build things that helps people. Since I was young, I always try to build the software, hardware, stuff that could help anywhere in the house, ease things for people. But then now I'm also looking at a more larger scale. How can we help? How can we provide? And so that's basically what drives me every day.
Okay, and if you would describe yourself in three words, what would they be?
I would say I like to do things, though I'm a doer. I try to experiment, I build fast, I fail fast. That's what I like to do. I would say that I'm creative, like to think outside the box, like to play music, kind of bit of art. And last thing, I try to be kind and just share positive vibe. So I would say kind.
Okay, that's great. I already feel the positive vibe and the optimism. So, you're a startup founder. So, can you maybe share what drove you to start Trosort and how your journey went up until that moment?
So I did a background of mechanical engineering, and then I graduated and I got into a first startup. I was the first employee, and I was really into the energy transition. So we were building products for that, and doing that, I realized also all the other aspects because I'm an engineer, energy, okay, but there are a lot of other things to do in the world. So I discovered the impact of fashion first, just by knowledge, getting into knowing the numbers, the impact. And from there, I stopped buying new clothes and actually any new stuff. And I started thinking, okay, what could be a nice model for consuming fashion to still have fun? So there is secondhand. And I started a little concept with a few friends of a shared wardrobe where we exchange clothes between us. And that's how I became to realize, okay, it's super hard to digitize items at scale that are unique. So that's what drove me to Trosort.
Okay, and can you maybe explain for those who don't know the company what you do and how the technology works?
Yeah, so basically we use artificial intelligence and computer vision to tag pictures of items, mainly textiles, so that we can characterize clothes just based on its picture and extract every metadata that we need, for example, to categorize it or to publish it online for sale. So we provide tools, software tools, a mobile app and a web app for professional resellers that put a lot of items on marketplaces so that it's easier for them. They just have to take the picture of the clothes, and then nearly every digital things to do is automated. And we also use that tool to help sorting centers and wholesalers to digitize their textile stream, to extract data so that we are able to automate things and to improve the efficiency of the processes.
Wow, seems incredible and very useful. So Trosort was formerly known as a Globe Drip originated. You've undergone a rebranding. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about that process and the reason why?
So Globe Drip, it was the idea of the shared wardrobe where we stopped buying new clothes, and it's kind of a rebellion kind of thing against the normal fashion way. So Globe Drip meant drip. It's because it's a rapper word that comes from the fact that when they are on the scene, their jewelry melts. So they say the drip, it drips. But I say no, it's the planet that is melting because of the transition we are having right now. So that's why Globe Drip came into the
Okay.
world, and we transition now into Trosort, because Trosort it's linking the beginning of the value chain to the end of the value chain. So basically, from sorting centers to resell online or resell at the end, and we make all the dots connecting thanks to data and automation.
Okay. And what is your core mission, we would say? You talked about this
Yeah.
globe drip, indeed. Is that still your core mission of Trosort as well?
It's the same idea. It's to change how we consume and accelerate and scale circularity. So now we are more focused on giving the right tools to actors that have the power to change things, so that they can do it at scale.
Yeah. And of course, their digitalization plays a very big role into that part.
Yeah.
I think our industry, textile industry, is sometimes a little bit conservative. Can you maybe explain in what ways you think that digitalization can effectively improve and stimulate this industry towards more sustainability and transparency?
I think data speaks for itself, so it's easy to put more policies and regulation when there is data to back up certain decisions and to monitor, of course, on the day-to-day. It's easier to bring new business models also, as I said, subscription models. It's easier when you get the data that is automated, etc. I also think about the value chain for the manufacturing of the clothes. There are blockchain technology that helps you to trace the provenance of every materials and see the impact of it. I think just being able to collect data and analyze it will help a lot in that sense.
And how do you evaluate that transformation is going into this industry? Because indeed you have a lot of interesting technology, but still a very traditional sector. How do you see this transformation ongoing?
I think by the implementation of what I said, so the different policies, the new tools that will come for ESG reporting, and I think the main part will be tools that helps companies steer in the right way, using the analytics of the data that it will provide them. So AI tools that help you take decisions based on the day-to-day activities. I think that will be the biggest part of it, so that the traditional way will just change because the market is changing.
Yeah, okay. And your technology is specifically focused also on sorting technologies. How do you make the sorting technology more scalable and more efficient? How does that work?
Yeah, so we focus really on the reselling part. So if we look at the lensing scale, so the idea that for having the best circularity model, you should come to track the waste highest possible in the pyramid. So directly, is it reusable? Is it recyclable? Is it etc.? Can we retrieve energy? So the highest point is reuse. So we focus on that. So how we make it more efficient? We help sorting companies to detect more accurately what are the value of the resellable items they have. So we have a pricing engine that is able to say, okay, this piece, as we see it, it's valued at 5.6 euro on the market. Okay, it's profitable for you to resell it or not. And if not, we have all the data necessary to say, okay, this should be recycled in that recycling facility because it's 100% cotton and it's white. That's the idea, connecting the dots together. So acquiring the data, helping to take the decision of sorting, and then connecting with the right actors for the end of life.
Okay, seems interesting. And what do you feel are the biggest bottlenecks for the current system today?
For the current system, we focus a lot on recycling. I think it's, of course, necessary, but we know that the second market will just boom. It will be twice as big as it is now in 2028. It's also digitizing. So in 2028, all resale will 51% of all resale will happen online. So it's important to acquire the data, make product sheets that you can directly sell from the sorting center to internet and marketplace Today, when you buy as a professional from the sorting center, you buy a bale of 25 kilo of a certain category of clothes. You don't know what's inside. You don't see are there defects on those. You don't see the sizing, the brands, etc. So I think it's important to get more data when you buy those. So there are less that will be dumped in the end, and to detect what will end up in the landfill if we sell it in that country or what would not, and what we should maybe more recycle in here than send over there.
So send higher value to every waste stream separated, whereas there's not only cherry picking today, but give the highest value to every stream.
That's
I think that's a very good mission, because I know that's a challenge today.
Mm-hmm.
And do you see this automated sorting technology to be the standard for the future? What is your mission, and what do you think is needed to implement that?
I think it will. I don't know if our solution will be the best one on the market. There are already really good products on the market for automated recycling and categorization of clothes. I think we come as part into this whole chain to be more closely linked to the resellable market. And I think just along the chain, just acquire data at scale and make analytics that is valuable for the decision makers. That's super important. That's where everybody should focus its time.
So maybe let's talk a little bit about your business model. Who are your key partners and customers in your story? Who do we target at for data or for this application?
Yeah. So more closely linked to the market, we have here a SaaS platform for the professional resellers online. So those are people who resell 2,000, 3,000 pieces per month on the marketplace, eBay, Vinted, etc. So those are people who first started as a side project, and now they made it a big thing. They employ people to do that thing. We help them to scale so that it's easier, they can put more, and there is more professional offer on the second market. So it becomes more attractive to people to go into that. So that's one part of the clients. That's the end of the chain, let's say. And we go right up to the beginning of the chain, the sorting centers, people who just receive a massive textile stream, millions of items per year, and have to sort them as efficiently as they can. So we focus also on those people.
Okay. And how can a digital platform like Ellie.Connect help you in your venture?
Well, we are looking for people to test our product, give us feedback. We are looking for partnerships to put in place some take-back programs, test our tools for take-back programs. Basically, what we do is we help on the operational level. We really try to automate as most of the task as possible. So if anybody is interested into that, they should come contact us, of course, and spread the word.
Okay, that's a nice call to action to leverage the platform as well. So we don't know, but we hope we can help you with that as well. So let's zoom in a little bit into the technology about e-commerce. What are the latest trends that you notice in these domains, and how is Trosort responding to that?
What we've seen in the past couple of months and years is live shopping that is taking on into the second-hand market. We have platforms like Whatnot on which people can just sell directly live, and so they don't have to enter a lot of data, so they can sell more items per hour, just showing them to the customers. We've also seen from the different marketplaces that they are all building an API so that more tools can come and connect to them. So people like me, I can provide services for their clients to help them put more on the platform or use the platform more in other ways. That's what eBay have been doing also for all their time. They have a really nicely made API, and during the time they made this API with a certain price so that they could also capture the value of all those services that comes for their customers. That's really the trend that we see right now.
And how does Trosort help in this opportunity to optimize the e-commerce processes?
Well, we provide tools so that people can put more on those platforms and more professionally. So with more data, more accurate data. For example, we also recognize the exact centimeters, the dimensions of a garment that people always ask for when you are on those platforms. So it helps to have less friction to buy the items. We also help to have a better image rendering on those platforms. We could put off the background, or you can modify the background easily, have nice descriptions so that it catches more the eye of people, and it in the end professionalize the platform, where you have just people that take pictures on their bed and write two things, and you have no idea of the product or something that is really well made. The choice is more easy to do.
Okay, and in your opinion, what are the biggest challenges in digitalizing this resale of secondhand textiles?
Biggest challenge is, of course, just for now, everybody is just entering the data manually. There are not enough integrated tools that covers the overall processes that you have to do when you sell online. You have also to answer and negotiate with a lot of people. So when you start putting 2,000 items on Vinted, I can assure you, you get way more than 2,000 messages. And if you cannot answer all of them, you get bad reviews and you lose opportunity to sell. And lastly, it's about pricing. It's hard to price correctly if you don't spend time on your pricing. So that's where we also come to help and provide a pricing engine that will help you on the different marketplace to choose the right pricing and dynamically adapt them so that you can sell your stock more efficiently.
Okay, and regarding your target audience in the space of e-commerce, you talked about eBay, Vinted. Is your technology also accessible to smaller online stores, or are you only targeting the bigger players for now?
So we target the smallest players that put on those platforms. So we provide the service directly to them. It can be just someone putting 100 pieces per month, starting a business doing that. It can be a physical store that want to start using the omni-channel strategy, so start selling online and use our tool to start doing that very efficiently and super easily. It can be very big players with a lot of secondhand items to sell, to put on those platforms, to use multiple platforms at the same time, and just to cut costs and being able to scale their activities.
So you're playing a role in sustainability, but also in the digitalization of the sector, and maybe the physical stores that don't know how to start with e-commerce yet. So that's also an interesting point of view. Let's talk a little bit about the future and industry trends. How do you see the textile and fashion industry in broad evolving when it comes to digitalization, automatization, and more particularly AI? What major shifts can businesses expect?
I think the major shift comes from the power of analysis of the data that becomes very easily explainable for decision makers. So there are now AI tools that helps you, based on the data, take very pragmatic decisions. For example, you should start a take-back program of all the shoes that you sold in that country. This will be profitable. This will enable to avoid a certain amount of CO2. And those, I think, are the kind of insights that we need in this industry to move on, because there are a lot of data, but sometimes we don't understand everything. Sometimes things are not correlated within each other. Now we start having nice analytics. I also think if you look more in the production side, which I'm not very aware of, I'm not really into that field, but we will have more traceability thanks to, for example, blockchain technologies, so that we can start really tracing from the raw material to the end consumer what happened, what has been bought, what was the impact of doing that, and also in the terms of making policies. I think it's way easier to make policy if you have right data into your hand to make it. So I spoke about decision makers. It can be into the industry, so CEOs or managers, but it can also be at the European level to help them put the right policies and also develop new business models for the brands. The more data you have, the more you are able to understand your customer, to provide solution to ease their life. That's what I'm doing. But also to understand their need basically and shift with their change, because the market is changing rapidly and it's super important those days to keep monitoring those changes and following them. So that's how I think the industry should take on with AI really couple it to data and get insights so that you know what are the next steps to do.
So data is the new gold for the industry.
I think it's been,
Okay, interesting lesson. Looking ahead, where do you see Trosort in the next 5 years? What are the major milestones you're working on?
So now we are still a startup. We need to make our products robust, make it scalable. That's what we will work on for the 2 years to come. We are building a team to do that. We want to have our first prototype running in a sorting center at the end of 2026. And then for the 3 more years to come, so 5 years in total, we want to expand to have more than 1,000 customers that use our tool around the world. We will focus more on the European level, but we want to also seek for the most partnership that we can have to understand where our tool is the most profitable, where it's the most useful. It can be at helping to make take-back programs. It can be to help selling online for small resellers. It can be in the sorting centers, into also connecting the different dots, the different chains. So we are looking for partnerships with actors that provide software to, for example, say to sorting centers, you have that amount of clothes to recycle. They have those characteristics. We can link you with this recycling center that has exactly those requirements. So we are looking also to integrate in those tools. So basically in the 5 years to come, building, growing, and partnerships.
Okay, that's great. So it's also a call to action to the technology partners who are on our Ellie.Connect platform as well. Thank you for that. Maybe to share one last message, something you would like to share with the community as well about your entrepreneurship, or any additional call to action you would like to make. I think now is the time.
I think if I have one thing to say that I learned is that you have to start building, to start doing things. Even if someone tells you it's a bad idea, you will pivot along the way. You will find other problems. You will dig into it. You will get more insights. That's how you become kind of an expert in something. You need to just go talk to anybody you can, get feedback for what you are building. I think it's super important, even as an employee, to try to do intrapreneurship. So when you see maybe not a trend, but something that can become big, start a project on it, do something, analyze data, talk to people, and start putting things in place. I think that's really the thing to go forward, is to start small and just crash test until you find something cool and you do something with it.
Great. Thank you for that. Thank you for your insights today. I wish you very good luck with your entrepreneurship. I'm sure we will hear a lot about Trosort in the coming years. So good luck with that, and let's do great things together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you are a fan of the Ellie.Talks podcast, make sure to give us a like or leave a positive review. And remember, there's plenty more inspiring content on your favorite podcast platforms like Spotify or YouTube. We hope to see you there.